started with our text, I kind of wanted to just share a little story with you guys that I have. So, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about raising the bar. The question is your bar too low? Hence why we did the limbo, which some of us kind of, showed our skills and lack thereof. But, I have a picture that I was looking to see if we could put on the screen. If not, that's okay. I'll just tell my story. It's not a big deal. So this right here are my lovely percussion students. Some of you guys know I teach a high school, Downtown West High School. I teach percussion there. I have a bunch of students here, and right here, this was our last performance last year at finals. We made it to finals. The journey to get there was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, possibly maybe in my life. So my students have always been talented, they've always been really, really great, but last year they just decided they just wanted to take a break. They're just like, finals, we don't need that. So I've been teaching percussion for about 8 years, and I've never had to drag, pull, kick, and scream a group. I have 17 of those students are mine. 17 students through the mud and to success. The way that the indoor percussion ensemble that I work functions, you go to competitions every Saturday throughout the season, you get judged, and they don't really mean a lot, supposedly, and then you go to finals, and you're supposed to do awesome. So my students kept getting kicked down, dragged out. We would go to competitions, we get last. We would go to places that were supposed to be able to succeed. We won our district championship last year. We got 5th. The year before we won. Last year we got 5th. So we're going into finals, and we paid all this money. It's like $35,000 for us to go there. And so we're like, we might not make it past the first round. There's about 66 groups that they put in there. And so me, as an instructor, I was like, gee, I've never really faced a situation where I don't even know if we're going to make it past the first round. If not, I've pretty much failed as an instructor. That's my job, is to get in the finals. So we're going through, and somehow these kids decided that they wanted to put in the hard work leading up there, and they got through the first round. We're like, oh, great. Finally. We beat some people that have been beating us all season. We're like, gosh, we finally made it through. Second round, we're going down the second round. This is nuts, we're not making it. So we're going through, and somehow they put in more work, and they made it through that round too. So we're standing in our rehearsal area, and it's ready to go to finals, and we're like, wait, how in the world did we get here? We were getting beat down and crapped on all season. And at the very last minute, we decided to put in the hard work that we needed to, and guess what? They took 15 to finals, we got 13th place. No, it's not the greatest, but out of 66, especially when they weren't supposed to even make it out of the top 100, that's pretty good. So we were proud of them because they put in the hard work to do hard things. So I want to talk to you guys. You can clap for them. I'll be sure to let them know on Saturday that you guys were happy for them. They're doing a lot better this season, though. We are not getting crapped on as bad. So, but this kind of brings me to a story about doing hard things that happens in Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3 takes us on a journey of these 3 gentlemen named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So the whole entire situation happened. I'll give you a little background story. I'm not going to read the whole chapter to you, but they there was a decree put out by the king. His name is Nebuchadnezzar, and he was like, hey, I built this 90-foot statue. I want you guys to all just bow down to it. And everybody's like, cool, that's a great idea. And for whatever reason, everybody did it. So King Nebuchadnezzar was over this area, also called Babylon. And the 3 guys there, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were in charge of it. And they were just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not bowing down. I serve God. And so King Nebuchadnezzar finds out, and he was just like, that's not cool on my watch. I want you to go ahead, I'm going to bind these 3 guys up. We're going to throw them to the furnace. Well, we're going to turn the furnace up way higher than it's supposed to be. We're going to kill all the guards who are going to throw them in there because it's so high. And I want you guys to we're going to burn you guys to death because you won't bow down to me. And they were like, cool, whatever. It's like, God's got me. Literally what the response was. So they go on through, and as they're looking through the furnace, King Nebuchadnezzar's like, why are there 4 people in there? I only threw 3 people in there. Like, what is happening right now? So they go on, And it's like, wait, is that God that's in there with them? Because I'm pretty sure that's weird. I don't know what's going on. So what happens is that after that, we can take a look at our text for today, which is actually going to just be one quick short verse in Daniel chapter 3, verse 28. So if you guys want to open up to there, it's in the Old Testament. One of those cool books. Daniel's actually really awesome book if you guys want to take a look at it. But we're just going to take a look at verse 28. Verse 28 says, Then Nebuchadnezzar said, Praise to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He sent his angel to rescue his servants who trusted in him. They defied the king's commands and were willing to die rather than worship any God except their own God. And the chapter ends and it talks about how Nebuchadnezzar saw who God was through their action of faithfulness to the Lord and then doing those hard things of standing up for their faith. And he sent a decree out across the land and said, if you don't believe in their God, then we're going to kill you instead. So Nebuchadnezzar now is being brought to the knowledge of who God was through these three men doing hard things. So I wanted to just give you guys, there's this really awesome book that our series has been based off. It's called Do Hard Things. This book is awesome. So in there, it gives us a few testimonies of some people that are around your guys' age that are doing hard things right now. And the one that I wanted to take a look at is this guy named Zach Hunter. Zach Hunter is this gentleman. He found, at the age of 12, he went on a mission trip and he saw that there were millions of people still enslaved. He realized that there are about 15 million children slaves across the world. And he was like, that's not cool in my life. So he decided that it was time for him to go do something about it. So he started collecting loose change all across America. And he would take the donations and he would send it to people that were enslaved in different parts of the world. And he saved hundreds and thousands of people and he started building wells and doing things along those lines to give people running water and give them more of a hope and chance of society. And he had this really great quote that I thought was really awesome. So he was going to go on stage after the David Crowder Band one day, and he was really nervous and had struggled with anxiety. And he was like, his mom was like, you know what, honey, if you're really nervous and you don't feel great, then you know what, you just go ahead and stay and have a seat and don't go out on stage. It's fine. Somebody else will take care of it. And he said, I have to go. If I don't speak up, no one else will. So he decided at the ripe age of 12 years old, which is younger than the majority of you in here, that he had an understanding that if he wasn't the one who spoke up, if he wasn't the one that went out, if he wasn't the one that took care of things in the world, nobody else was going to do it. That he was equipped at the age of 12 with the power of the Lord to go ahead and change society. And he was determined to do that. And the book goes on to tell about so many other stories and great dynamic things about kids running campaigns for senators at the age of 17 and kids building houses and financing things at the age of 15 for impoverished people in Mississippi. Just awesome things that kids your age are doing. Just because they heard the call of the Lord, they stepped up and they said, here am I, Lord, send me. All they had to say. So that reminded me also of, it reminded me of this woman in the Old Testament. So there's only 2 women that have books named after them in the Old Testament. One's Ruth, which is pretty awesome. The other one's Esther. So the book of Esther is pretty much, Esther's Jewish. King doesn't know she's Jewish. King wants to kill all the Jews, and then she gets scared because she's Jewish and so is her family. So that's the essence of the book of Esther. But in chapter 4 of Esther, she has a really, really good moment that I just kind of wanted to mention for you guys. So, chapter 4, verses 13 and 14, it says, Then Mordecai sent word to Esther, just because you live in the king's palace, don't think that out of all the Jewish people, you alone will escape. If you keep quiet at this time, someone else will help and save the Jewish people, but you and your father's family will all die. And who knows, you may have been chosen king for such a time as this. So what this is saying is that though you don't stand up and you don't do what you're supposed to do, somebody will eventually do it. But what if you're put into your school? What if you're put into this youth group? What if you're put into society? What if you're put anywhere that you are right now for the purpose of changing the world?
Amen.
What if your ideas and your passions are supposed to be helping and reaching others, even at your age right now? So I know we have a couple things coming up right now. inviting your friends to church? What if you're the one that's supposed to plant the seed for that? What if you're the one that is supposed to be inviting these people to convention? We talked about this a second ago, bring a friend. And it's so easy to be like, no, you'll bring a friend. I'll just show up myself, if you even show up. But what if it was a matter of, hey, that person that I know, that's my best friend, who I know doesn't know Christ. What if my purpose is to invite that person to church? What if I'm supposed to bring them to convention? Convention, you guys heard, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. So, I mean, what if a matter of that, and even past that, we have Easter Sunday coming up. You know, we have Christmas, Easter, and Mother's Day. You know, those kind of church-going things. And Easter is a big holiday. Easter is the biggest holiday in the Christian calendar. So why would you not want to bring your friends to that one? You just got to bring them. Why not do anything? The word will go forth there. Because all you have to do is invite people. Just being bold and being able to go out and be able to connect with those around you really, really will change a lot of things.
Amen.
So you can use your God-given healing influence to change the world no matter what your age is. And it's really important because it's always tomorrow, and it's always, we'll do it later, and it's always somebody else will do it. But I really think that the Lord has really been showing me that through a lot of you guys, and through most of you guys here, that the change is you. You guys are the ones that are supposed to be doing that. The Lord is saying, go. And He's giving you the tools. He'll never leave you, and nor will He ever forsake you. He's always going to be with you throughout everything. So you just need to trust the Lord. Trust Him and believe that He's going to provide for you. But He has. And I'm sure a lot of other leaders can attest to that too. So, just finishing up the message now, I just want to go ahead and leave you guys with a quote from one of these wonderful people from this book. Her name is Brittany Lewin. She was the one that I spoke about and said that when she was 17 years old, Congressman Bob Schaefer came to her and said, hey, I want to have an all-youth run campaign. So she got put in charge of a $55,000 budget to get this man elected to Congress. Nobody thought they could do it. But guess what? In 2006, Bob Schaefer got elected congressman, and she was in charge of it. So when the author of this book, Do Hard Things, asked her, what is it like to do hard things? This is what her response is. She said, whoever said that doing hard things isn't fun? On the contrary, I feel I missed out by not aiming towards more hard things. You'll find more joy in doing what God has called you to do than a trip to the mall or a night at the movies will ever bring. The vision I have for the rest of my life is to live every day completely surrendered to God. I don't know what my future holds, but I know who holds my future.
Whoa.
So I just want to leave you guys with just one thing, saying, I know we keep our heads down and we aim low. We don't set our bar too high because we don't want to live in an uncomfortable situation, but it leaves us with all the what ifs in life. Until we start breaking down those boxes that we put God in, we don't compartmentalize Him to just one specific time on Wednesday nights, and we let Him infect our entire lives. Until we do that, we won't see the change that we want to see. Someone else will fulfill the word of the Lord and His desires, but why not you? We need to